Oh my God, guys, UFC just announced the main event of UFC 328, and it is Sean Strickland versus Khamzat Chimaev for the middleweight championship, and I am so hyped for this fight. It's always good to see Sean Strickland in there, always good to see Khamzat in there. Both of them aren't the most active fighters, so it's good to see both of them. I'm glad they're giving Strickland the title fight over Imavov. I think this is a way more interesting, way more fun fight than Khamzat versus Imavov. And I could genuinely see this going so many different ways. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to break it down, I'm going to talk about both their styles, I'm going to give my official hard takes prediction. But yeah, let's just get things started, get things warmed up, and let me say, I'm so hyped for this fight. We haven't seen Chimaev fight since August of last year. I think this fight's going to be in May, so that's cool. Great to see this happening. I was really scared Khamzat would be out for like another year. I thought they were even going to do an interim. Khamzat apparently has some sort of injury. He's been like rehabbing or whatever. He hasn't been training, especially during Ramadan. So Khamzat hasn't been doing much. Strickland just had his fight. Imavov's been waiting. I don't know what happens to Imavov now. He's been like sitting out for fucking however long waiting for his title fight that's not coming now. So we'll see what they do with him. Maybe they'll give him Driscus. Maybe, I don't know. Everyone's talking about Brendan Allen Driscus. I really don't know what they do with Imavov here. That being said, who really cares about Imavov? But no, I'm so hyped for this. I'm excited to see the divisions moving. I'm excited to see championship fights announced. And they even announced some more fights, which I'll break some more down later. The overall, this card is fire. This fight is fire. And we're going to go ahead and break it down. Okay, so let's talk about Khamzat Chimaev first. Now, obviously, we know who Khamzat Chimaev is. He's one of the best wrestlers, if not the best wrestler we have ever seen in the UFC. Honestly, I would call him the best wrestler we've ever seen. He's so aggressive, so explosive with his takedowns, with his wrestling. He's the one that goes in there, he sprints forward, he just dives, he puts everything into the first fucking takedown and tries to get that finish early, which is also one of his chinks in his armor. You know, is he can gas out in fights, which he has seen him do, but his cardio looked really good against Strickland du Plessis. That being said, when you're sitting on top of someone for the whole time, you know, that kind of preserves all your strength and gets rid of all their strength. So we'll see how his cardio holds up against Sean Strickland, who I think is in the same tier of a fighter as Strickland du Plessis, but a completely different style. And I don't want to do UFC math here because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Driscus beat Sean. Khamzat destroyed Driscus. That obviously means Khamzat's going to beat Sean Strickland, which I can see Sean Strickland losing this fight. But I can also see him winning this fight. And here's why. Sean Strickland's style is so much different than Strickland du Plessis. Sean Strickland, we'll break him down now. He's been in the UFC. He's been in the UFC a long time. He has had a lot of fights in there. He is one of the best boxers in the UFC. One of the best pressure strikers in the UFC. Has one of the best defensive fighters in the UFC. He doesn't wrestle too much, but he does have really good wrestling takedown, as shown where he completely shut down Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Now we have him going against the best wrestler. Now we have him going against one of the best wrestlers in the UFC, if not ever. Now we have him going against one of the best wrestlers ever in the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev. So we'll see how his takedown defense can hold up. Now, obviously, he did get taken down by Driscus, who's, you know, a worse wrestler than Anthony Hernandez. But he did look like a huge improvement between his Driscus performance and his Anthony Hernandez performance. Now, I do think Anthony Hernandez is in a different tier, a tier lower than Driscus, a tier lower than Strickland. But he is a way better wrestler than Driscus, and he is a way better grappler than Driscus. So Sean Strickland had a really good takedown defense against Anthony Hernandez, completely shut him down. So we're going to talk about why he was able to shut Anthony Hernandez down and why I think he poses a threat to Khamzat. Now, the reason that Anthony Hernandez couldn't land any takedowns, because that was his game. You know, his game was go in there, get some takedowns, get some clinch work. And he just could not do any of that. Sean Strickland's footwork was too good. Sean Strickland was too fast. Sean Strickland was fighting off his back foot. Every time Fluffy wanted to do anything, Strickland was not there. Compare that to the Driscus performance. Driscus wants to go in there. He wants to pressure you also. They both pressuring each other, both meeting in the middle. They're both fighting. That's why Driscus can land a couple shots, get in a takedown, get on top of him. Get a couple shots, land a takedown, get on top of him. You know what I mean? Dricus had success against Sean because Dricus is such a good striker. Sean had to worry about both. You know, Dricus is a more balanced fighter. Anthony Hernandez is a clinch guy. He's a wrestling guy. He does have good striking, but nowhere near the level of Dricus and nowhere near the level of Sean Strickland. That's why Sean Strickland controlled the pace, controlled the distance. Every time when Fluffy wanted to do something, he was not there. And every time Sean Strickland would get in the pocket, it was on his terms, and he would win the exchange. Fluffy only threw one takedown that entire fight, and that was because Sean Strickland's footwork was so good, that Sean Strickland was so fast, that Sean Strickland was always pressuring him with the jab, that Fluffy Hernandez didn't even have a chance to. And when he did throw that one takedown, Sean stuffed it so easily. Sean is just always in the gym sparring. He's always going hard in the gym. Khamzat also always going hard in the gym, but not so much right now. You know, he had the injuries during Ramadan. So Khamzat Chimaev has been pretty inactive training-wise. I know that we all know that Khamzat's known for training too hard, which is kind of why he's so inactive. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think Sean Strickland's been working harder. I think he's been training more. I think he wants this fight more. And I think overall it's going to be a fun fight and a good performance from Sean. Now, one of the biggest reasons it's an exciting fight is because of the United States versus Russia element of it, which is really good heading right into the United States card right after. I think that's the one after. I'm sure there's a couple fight nights in between. I don't think there's a number card in between them, but I don't even know. I didn't check, bro. But I think this is going to be a U.S. versus Russia thing, you know, and if Sean Strickland could win this, I think this is going to be huge for that. You know what I mean? I think the build-up of this fight is going to be fun. Obviously, Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev have hated each other for years, talking years. So I think the whole press conference and stuff is going to be fun. I think that they're going to be at each other's throats, that they're going to be talking so much shit in there, that they're going to be heated. And I can't wait to watch all the conferences. I can't wait to watch the face-off. Can't wait to watch the weigh-ins. I think the build-up of this fight is going to be more exciting than the actual fight. But that being said, I cannot wait to watch the fight. All right, so overall, I'll give you my prediction now of how I think this fight is going to go. And I'm going to give you guys two scenarios. I'll give you scenario A and scenario B. So scenario A is that Khamzat completely does Sean Strickland like he did Dricus. Now I'll explain that one. There is a world where Sean Strickland just gets taken down early in the round and Khamzat's pressure's too much for him and he just holds Sean Strickland down the whole round. Next round starts same thing. Next round starts same thing. Next round starts same thing. Until he gets 50. Until he gets completely destroyed like Dricus did. Now I think it's very possible. Obviously Sean Strickland is super hard to finish. I don't think Chimaev's gonna be able to get a submission on him. That being said, I think Khamzat could. You know, it's obviously possible, but I think Sean Strickland's too hard to get out of there. I don't think it's gonna happen. Now, I hope this is not the scenario that happens here because I really don't want another boring Khamzat fight. I really don't want Khamzat as champion. I really don't want Khamzat to win this and win it in a boring fashion. Now, that being said, there's also another possibility, and that is the Strickland possibility. This is how I think Sean Strickland can beat Khamzat Chimaev. And it's like this. Like I said before, Sean Strickland, he's so fast, his footwork's too good. Every time Fluffy wanted to go for a takedown, he wasn't there. I think if Sean Strickland fights off his back foot, manages distance, gets some jabs, gets some hits in, I think Sean Strickland can take some rounds from Chimaev. I really think he can. I think if Sean Strickland just stays away from Chimaev so much to the point where Chimaev can't get his wrestling going, you know, it's not that he's so much a stuffing takedown, but just that the takedown opportunities aren't there. I think Sean Strickland can do that. I think if Sean Strickland can keep his distance, you know, throw his teeps, throw his jabs, maybe land a couple combinations and jump out of the pocket, I think that'll make a scenario where Khamzat Chimaev doesn't have the opportunity to go for takedowns. If Sean Strickland can do that, if he can keep distance, if he can keep the round standing up, I think he can easily win a decision, if not finish Chimaev. Now, obviously, we've never seen anyone finish Chimaev. We've never even seen him lose. But I think it could go similar to the Anthony Hernandez fight. You know, obviously Chimaev is a way more aggressive, way faster pace, way better wrestler than Anthony Hernandez. So I could see rounds where Sean Strickland can maybe keep it standing. We take those rounds. Chimaev, maybe next round will go in there and get the takedown and lay on him the whole time. But I think it is not out of the realm of possibility for Sean Strickland to be able to avoid all of this wrestling, be able to avoid giving Chimaev the opportunities to go for it. And I think Sean Strickland could keep the fight standing. I think he could land some combinations. Now, everyone online is so split on this. There's all the people being like, oh, Chimaev, easily, bro. He's going to fuck him up worse than he fucked up Driscus. And everyone else is online is like, well, I just saw Sean Strickland completely destroy Anthony Hernandez, so obviously Sean Strickland's going to win. And I don't think either of those sides are right. Obviously, one of them has to be. But you know what I mean? Everyone's acting like it's going to be a domination one way or the other. And I think there's going to be a close fight. I think either Chimaev destroys him or it's going to be a close fight. I don't think Strickland can destroy Chimaev. I do think Chimaev can just smudge a win out in a boring fight. But what I think is the most likely to happen is we're going to have this really close, really narrow decision win for one of them. Where some rounds Strickland can stay standing, where some rounds it goes down. I don't think either of them are going to get finished. I think this is going to be a razor close decision, probably 3 rounds to 2 rounds. I can see Khamzat having some rounds where he gets 2 points. I can see Strickland having rounds where he gets 2 points if he keeps it standing and lands enough clean combinations. And if Strickland can land a knee, a body knee, right in his solar plexus like he did Anthony Hernandez, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Strickland to take him down there. I don't know if Strickland will want to jump on him. But I think he could. I think it's possible, guys. I think it's possible for Sean Strickland to win this. Now, I know everyone online is like, Sean by domination. You know what I mean? Strickland's not, Strickland's not going to be able to get taken down, which I don't think is true. But I do think from a realistic perspective, from someone who's not underrating Chimaev just because we don't like him, I think it is completely possible for Sean Strickland to win this fight. And I think there's a good chance that it does happen. But let me know what you guys think of this fight. I'll probably be dropping a more in-depth breakdown of it later on. This is just me reacting to the news, me giving my initial takes. You know what I mean? I'll have a longer, more detailed one after I watch some fights later on, so stay tuned for that one. Let me know down in the comments who you have in this one and why. As always, guys, this is Hard Takes MMA. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe, please. It would help me out a ton. And as always, keep watching the fights and stay hard! Or don't. I don't really give a fuck.
I got a private jet, but I stay up in the shadows. They not in the city, yeah, I'm winning all the battles. I'm a billionaire, boy, go check the tag bracket. Black on black suit, yeah, custom made jacket.